Good afternoon. It's Wednesday, January 2. I'm Herman Green with the Midday News. A special welcome if you're watching on onespotmedia.com. Concerns are being raised following Jamaica's fall in the recent Forbes Best Countries for Business 2018 report. The opposition, in a release yesterday, said the poor Forbes rating continues a negative trend. According to opposition spokesperson for finance and planning, Mark Golding, the negative performance is underscored by Jamaica having lost its position as the highest-rated Caribbean island in the World Economic Forum's Global Competitiveness Report. Jamaica slipped to 79th position from the 70th position it held in 2017. In an interview with TVJ News this morning, President of the Private Sector Organization of Jamaica, Howard Mitchell, called for a serious overhaul of the public sector.
Public sector reform, which is the can that we have been kicking down the road for the last 20 years, that we have to deal with it. It is the gorilla in the room, the monster in the theater. We have to streamline the way that government works in terms of applications for construction. That is still not satisfactory. There are a number of areas that we have to work on. Government must accelerate the divestment of the critical assets that impede production and interfere with the smooth operation of private sector growth.
He has also called for the government to take an in-depth look at tax reform.
So we'll have to revisit tax reform. You have a situation where Barbados, for instance, has reduced its corporate tax rate to 5.5%. For the banks it's 33.3%, and for private corporations it is 25%. That is not satisfactory. Certainly, I would feel that we would have to be approaching the 12.5% that the special economic zone entrance would get. Now, I'm not saying that everybody must pay 12.5%, but I'm saying that somewhere in the teens is where we need to be for corporate income tax to be competitive, and we need to shift more into consumption-type taxation.
At least one member of parliament is issuing a call for a change in the operational structure of government. The call comes as work which was approved by the then People's National Party administration in 2014 for his Northwest St. Ann constituency has been put on the back burner by the current Jamaica Labour Party JLP administration. Dr. Dayton Campbell contends this is so because the JLP is using it as a ploy to win the seat in the next general election. TVJ's O'Shane Masters reports.
A 2014 promise for piped water by Member of Parliament for Northwest Senton is yet to be fulfilled, and the MP says a game of politics is a major hindrance to that improvement. Dr. Dayton Campbell says the residents in Bamboo, Claremont and Higgintown are being put at a disadvantage as they have not been able to get piped water which was promised to them. In his 2014 constitutional debate presentation, Dr. Campbell expressed desire to see the residents of his constituency with water flowing from pipes in their homes. He also highlighted the use of a well which was dug out by U.S. Marines over a decade ago, which he said would be a great asset in getting the piped water to the residents. The cost to get the commodity to those residents would be roughly $472 million. However, speaking with TVJ News recently, Dr. Campbell said the plans, although far advanced, were halted.
All of that was ensuring to be done until the election was done. And I guess people say that there are consequences to losing. I don't think the people should suffer. I think having water, they say water is life. And if you're denying the people water, that means you're denying them life. So I don't think that the people should suffer because of a change in administration. But that is what has happened in relation to the water in Bamboo, the health center in Runaway Bay. All of these have suffered based on the political change of administration.
The Northwest Senton MP says for the country to go forward, there needs to be prioritization of the issues based on community development and not an arbitrary process.
So I think that support, we should try and get support based on the work that we do. So governance should translate to us having political support because we've done well at governing. What is taking place in Jamaica is the reverse. People play politics and don't pay attention to governance. And that's why the people continue to suffer.
Hence, his call for constitutional changes as it relates to governance.
For you to have true separation of power, what happens is that in the UK, I think you have 600 and something MPs, and it's less than 100, I believe, that is a part of the executive, the cabinet, right? So that the parliament can actually hold them accountable. In Jamaica, you have a side will win the election with 32 seats, but 20 out of them are a part of the executive. And so the executive pretty much directs the affairs of the parliament. What happens now is that people pay taxes to the government and not the member of parliament. So it becomes difficult for the member of parliament to get something done when his party is not in power.
O'Shane Masters, TVJ News.
There's an urgent call this afternoon for hoteliers and the government to join forces to construct lifeguard posts at Treasure Beach in St. Elizabeth. Their appeal comes after 2 young men drowned at the Frenchman's Bay beach in the area. They were part of a group of friends from the Northern Caribbean University who went on a beach excursion on New Year's Eve. While swimming, the men got into difficulty and were taken away by an undertow current. One of the bodies was recovered yesterday, that of 26-year-old Joseph Anderson. Rescuers say his arms and legs were bitten off by sharks. However, the residents contend that it would have been different had lifeguards been hired for the beach.
And sometimes when you talk to the people, they don't listen. But if you have a lifeguard stand on the beach, then know those 2 guys won't drown, because you could have able to have said, yo, watch the current, come back in, blow a whistle, like, get to them before danger. So the beach needs some help with some lifeguard stand. And as I said, they have to sign them down at the bottom. One was at the top, and they break them down.
So the beach don't have no good bathing beach. If you mesh you off, then you do something about the beach and take up a serious. Otherwise, people will never get drowned.
Meanwhile, efforts are still underway to retrieve the second body, that of 26-year-old Karanja Gale, who drowned at the Treasure Beach in St. Elizabeth on Monday. Local divers, along with members of the Coast Guard and the Marine Police, reported up to late last evening that they were unable to retrieve the body, which was spotted approximately 200 meters from shore, as sharks were spotted close to it. The situation was further compounded by waves as high as 6 feet. The CEO at the Spanish Town Hospital in St. Catherine says there will be significant improvements for some patients, particularly expectant mothers, when upgrades to the facility are completed this year. Sections of the hospital have been under construction most of last year ahead of the planned upgrade to a Type A facility.
We have the ProMat buildings coming on stream that started last year and is expected to complete this year. That allows us to have 2 high dependency units, one for neonates and one for mothers to be taken care of who need emergency care.
Meanwhile, the maternity ward was unusually busy on Tuesday as it welcomed the first babies born in the new year. As part of its annual donations to New Year's babies, teams from Kirk Distributors Limited visited mothers at 8 hospitals this year.
Welcoming the first baby with lots of goodies, and also all the mothers and all the babies today with a gift package.
The first-time mother of the first baby boy born at Spanish Town Hospital for 2019 explains the challenge in delivering a 9-pound baby.
It because I was in a very long labor. I was in labor from about 3 o'clock in the evening.
And it's time now for a preview of what's coming up in this evening's Health Report.
In the next edition of the Health Report, we look at setting New Year resolutions.
One of the best stress management techniques, and something that if you do for over a 6-month period, it's going to change how you feel, is exercise. Exercise, the 30 minutes, 45 minutes on a daily basis will change your life significantly. Eating well, what is the healthy foods and social activities.
That's the Health Report this evening in Primetime News. And now for today's healthy living tip. Be specific. Vague goals won't work. you must develop a specific action plan for change. Make your goal public. Share your decision to change with friends and family who can offer support. And track your progress. Record or chart your changed behavior.
We go down to news overseas. In the United States, House Democratic leaders have settled on a legislative strategy to reopen the government, with votes expected on proposals just hours after the party takes control on Thursday. This comes as U.S. President Donald Trump agreed to a meeting for today at the White House. It's expected that the top leaders from both parties will come together for the first time since the partial government shutdown started 12 days ago. The details from the CNN.
President Trump looking to reach a compromise. Mr. Trump in a tweet Tuesday asking incoming House Speaker Nancy Pelosi if a deal over border security is possible.
Nancy Pelosi and the Democrats seem to be taking almost a Michael Corleone type offer here, where they're saying, Donald Trump, here's our offer, nothing.
Pelosi responded, calling Wednesday's summit a great opportunity to show how we will govern responsibly. The president has not wavered on his main sticking point.
You can never do it perfectly unless you have a wall. So we have to have a wall.
And that has been a factor.
Democrats are willing to come to the table for border security, but they're going to dig their heels in. They're clearly not going to fund that wall.
The meeting will feature a border security briefing from Homeland Security officials and an effort to reach an agreement that both reopens the government and keeps America safe.
It's going to probably be far more complicated to reach a compromise than to just say, okay, what's the number in between both of our standing points? It's not just about dollars. It's about negotiations, getting something for something else.
And still overseas, 6 people were killed and 16 others injured Wednesday morning following a train crash on the Great Belt Bridge linking the Danish islands of Zealand and Funen. The incident happened about 1:35 a.m. Reports are that a freight train with goods came off its wagon and a commuter train then collided with it. The freight train was transporting Carlsberg beer. Passengers were evacuated from the train, but police and rescue teams are still working at the scene. Funen's chief of police says strong winds are making the rescue operation harder. The cause of the incident has not been ascertained as yet. We go down to news in sports as five-time former champion jockey Trevor Slicer Simpson made a winning return to Caymanas Park when he guided Secret Traveler to a mild upset victory in the SVREL Fan Appreciation Day Trophy over 9 furlongs and 25 yards at the 2019 local racing season got underway. Spencer Darlington has our summary.
Simpson, who is back in Jamaica for about 4 months, had the 5-to-1 chance. Secret Traveler prominent to place to down the backstretch, made a serious move coming off the top bend, challenged Drummer Boy in deep stretch, and went away for a 2-length victory.
Drummer Boy has that lead. Here is on the outside now, Secret Traveler coming forward once again, brought through by Trevor Simpson. Lightning Lily has faded back, but races against the rail. It is a Drummer Boy tested now by Secret Traveler. They go at it up front, they tussle for it, and Secret Traveler now looks to have gotten rid of Drummer Boy inside the final 3/16. Drummer Boy switched to the outside. Lightning Lily is treading water. Royal Vibes can't win from there, but it is Secret Traveler out on that lead. Drummer Boy has faded and is toiling hard in behind Secret Traveler. Here is Royal Vibes asked to kick it on the outside, but Trevor Simpson, OD, and Secret Traveler win by 2 over Royal Vibes. That's the SVREL Fan Appreciation Day Trophy.
Secret Traveler came home in 1 minute 56 and 2/5 of a second.
Well, I lead the race comfortably now, and I see that 5 horses was through, so I just figure out if I just sit easy on him and then ask him the last 3 hits, and soon I respond to him, try to respond with me, and we take it from there.
Elsewhere on the program, jockey Javanil Patterson won 2 of the 3 trophy races. He guided Foot Soldier, the 3-to-5 favorite, to victory in the Mackay Security Limited Trophy over 1,820 meters.
And asked to make ground, that's Dusseldorf, but they run past the furlong pole, and still Foot Soldier leads by 5 or more of a Chief Prospect. Dusseldorf on the fence. Toward the outside, that's the Chief Secretariat also called on for more, but up front it is Foot Soldier pulling away from them under Javanil Patterson. There'll be no stopping Foot Soldier. He tramples them in the end and wins by maybe 10. Chief Prospect is second, Chief Secretariat third.
The instruction was hold him as much as I can. When you reach the 2.5, you use him. And when I hold him, I hold him a way that At one point, he actually pit out the bit and grab up him head, slap him on his shoulder, make him know, get back in it and him get in it and ride through. And
Patterson's other trophy victory came aboard Lisa's Pepsi at 4-1 in the opening event, which was the 2019 version of the New Year's Day trophy over 1,300 meters or 6.5 furlongs. Lisa's Pepsi won at odds of 4-1. Racing continues on Saturday. Reporting from Caymanas Park, I'm Spencer Darlington for TVJ Sports.
And that's the Midday News. I'm Herman Green. Please join us at 7 for the primetime news package. On behalf of the news, sports, and production teams, good afternoon.